There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Well, they say home is where the heart is, and that's true, but it's more than that. Home for me is a place where I feel comfortable to be my truest self. And it's where I can experience joy and sorrow equally without shame.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing.
The word home means to me a sense of belonging. It's comfort. It's just being comfortable walking around a community. Being at home is, taking pride in your home, and your community is your home. It's taking pride. It's giving back. It doesn't take much effort to give back, but people need to give back in order to be comfortable in their home.
I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. Wind that makes the tall grass bend into leaning. Suddenly the raindrops that fall, they have a meaning, sprinkling the scene, makes it all so clean.
So home means a place where you feel like you belong. That's what it means. A place where you feel like you belong. A place where you feel safe. A place where you can develop and where you can grow. And I think Wayne County covers all those bases pretty nicely.
Maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I have some direction. It would sure be nice to be back home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time be my friend, let me start again.
It's a place where you can put your roots down and grow and help your fellow community members and leave your community better than you found it.
Suddenly my world's running, changed its face, but I know where I'm going. I have had my mind spun around in space, and yet I've watched it growing. And oh, if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe the things we see. Tell us, should we try and stay, or should we run away? Or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world might be our fantasy, but it taught me to love, so it's real, it's so real to me. And I've learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world so full of love, like yours, like mine,
It's comfort, it's safety, and it's a place you can be proud of.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce's annual dinner. I'm Rick Duncan, and on behalf of the Chamber, thank you for spending your evening with us. To kick off tonight's event, there's no place like home. Please welcome to the stage the 2020 Chamber Board Chair from First Bank Richmond, Paul Whitty.
Good evening, everyone.
want to start by asking a question. Does anyone remember the theme to last year's annual dinner? It was 2020, a perfect vision. Yeah, right? Yeah. Does anyone remember the entertainment from last year? Yeah, the young ladies with the hula hoops. Well, one of the young ladies fell off the stage during the performance. That should have been an omen of what was to come. That was our perfect vision. Now, thankfully, she wasn't hurt. Obviously, no one knew what was on the horizon, but our world began to change in March. Businesses started to close, schools went to e-learning, social events were canceled, and our healthcare workers and first responders were overwhelmed, having to treat people with COVID. We had to gain knowledge of this invisible threat and ways to protect our community, businesses, our families, and friends. Like all businesses, the Chamber had to adapt to new protocols and move quickly to continue to be impactful to our membership. Some of the most meaningful COVID relief and support efforts came from the Business Recovery Task Force, which consisted of resources in public health, small and large businesses, education, healthcare, nonprofits, and arts and culture. Outcomes and information shared from these meetings included availability of PPE, I got PPP on the brains, sorry, PPE resources, information about grant opportunities, the Wayne County Disaster Recovery Loan Program, the revolving loan program for nonprofits through the Wayne County Foundation, availability of child care as people return to work, and close communication with schools as they plan to reopen. I'm very proud of the work the Chamber put into this task force. Other support efforts included a think tank with virtual meetings, including Chamber members and legislators. The Chamber also offered educational webinars, helping with relief packages, as well as many other relevant topics through our partnership with the Indiana Small Business Development Center. Through a coordinated effort, we offered moral support for our healthcare workers by placing signs of encouragement in front of their places of work and providing meals purchased from our local restaurants. In addition to our internal meetings with local businesses and legislators, our creative team at the Chamber coordinated multiple online events throughout 2020, which included Small Business Saturday, which was conducted through social media, our first ever couch shopping event, which was an online shopping experience with local boutiques and retailers. 12 vendors reported selling over $5,000 in products on Facebook Live, and other businesses reported additional sales when shoppers picked up their purchased items. And a virtual School is Cool senior celebration was held at Wetzel Honda in May 2020, where we gave away a car on Zoom with nearly 100 students and school faculty members in attendance. We were also able to hold outdoor events such as the annual Chamber Golf Classic at Forest Hills and the farm tour at the barn at Helm. Operating in a new era of social distancing would not have been possible if not for the vision and dedication of the Chamber staff and the leadership of Melissa Vance. To make things just a little tougher, throughout the course of the pandemic, Melissa received 2 resignations from her staff. While searching for staff members to take their place, Melissa and Roxy continue to operate seamlessly. The resignation of 2 prior employees gave us the opportunity to hire Daniel Arthur as Communications Coordinator and Lynette Davis as Director of Events. I would also like to recognize all school administrators and teachers for getting our kids back in school during the 2020-2021 school year. I know it wasn't an easy process as you were dealing with many challenges you hadn't had to deal with before. I applaud our educational institutions for their hard work and commitment to educating students of our community in the safest and most effective method possible. Needless to say, it's been quite a year for everyone. There's a song I like that I think captured the sentiment of how many of us felt this last year. It's a country song by Luke Combs called 6 Feet Apart. My wife dared me to sing it,
but I'm going to save you the pain and aggravation of my voice. Instead, I'm going to read the chorus. It goes, I miss my mom, I miss my dad, I miss the road, I miss my band. Giving hugs and shaking hands, well, it's a mystery, I suppose, just how long this thing goes. But there'll be crowds and there'll be shows, and there will be a light after dark someday when we aren't 6 feet apart. So there's progress being made as we slowly return to normal and get closer than 6 feet apart. And look at us tonight. So. Thank you for attending the Chamber Annual Dinner. I am proud to live in this amazing community. There's no place like home. At this time, I welcome the Chamber President and CEO Melissa Vance.
It is so good to be here with you all tonight. There is no place like home, that is for sure. And we've been waiting 8 months to get you all together and celebrate the great work that was done in 2020. So we are so excited about that. Forgive me as I scramble to find my page real quick. We cannot begin without recognizing the many people that have contributed to making tonight special for you. First of all, with more than 50 sponsors, I'm not going to take the time to go through them all, but they are in your program, and I encourage you to look through those and thank the sponsors for helping make tonight possible. These sponsors not only help us have magical events like this, but their donations also support the great work that we collectively are able to accomplish throughout the year. They give because they have a heart for the vitality of our county. I'd like to say a special thanks to our diamond sponsors tonight. We have Three Rivers Federal Credit Union with us. Three Rivers continues to give to our community, and we appreciate that so much. We appreciate the work that they did in partnering with us for Flavor of Wayne County on top of the parking garage this year, so that was extra special. Thank you. And our next sponsor, First Bank Richmond. Year after year after year, we see the work that First Bank Richmond does here in our community, whether it's through volunteerism or donations or just showing up and supporting. And the Chamber is no exception to that. And they have, for the 13th year now, been one of our lead sponsors for the School is Cool program. And they're so special to us, and we just thank them. Yes, let's give them a hand. We have Indiana University East with us again as a Tanzanite sponsor tonight. And IU East, as we all know, has been here in Richmond for a long time and doing great things for a long time. But we are finding more and more meaningful ways to partner with IU East. And upcoming very soon is our Chamber Business Summit that will be at IU East for the very first time. And we hope that you all will come out and join us for that. It's a great way to have professional development for your staff, in addition to the education that they provide year-round. And Sugar Creek Packing Company, they also are a Tanzanite sponsor, and if you spend any time in Western Wayne, you will see their fingerprint on what's happening there. They are invested. They came here, they built, and they are invested in making Western Wayne a stronger place to be, and we're so thankful for their partnership. Each year, we await in this great anticipation to see what in the world we're going to walk into at the annual dinner and what work the ACES committee has put into making this happen. They are called ACES affectionately because they are true ACES to us, but that stands for Awards, Celebrations, and Events Committee, for those of you that don't know that. But didn't they do another incredible job? At this time, I would like to say, if you are a member of the ACES committee, or if you came out and volunteered this week to help this happen, would you please stand? We'd love to recognize you and just say thanks. We also wanted to give a special shout out to the Richmond Symphony Orchestra for providing the music as you got to enjoy on your way in this evening. And behind me, once again, we have a beautiful backdrop provided by the UPS store here in Richmond. And they do this for us and do an amazing job and really help bring this all together. So thanks to them. We don't always take time to say thank you to Heartbreaker, but Heartbreaker is the company behind these beautiful LED screens that we have here for the very first time. And they come in and put lighting up and make the sound happen and really make this into the production that it is. And we could not do it without them. So can we just give them a loud clap? Most counties would give anything to have a company like that locally. They travel across the country and do these kinds of things, and we're just so fortunate that they're here. And the voice behind tonight's program, Rick Duncan from G1013 and Vox Vestra Productions. He does an outstanding job.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I wanted to recognize the elected officials that are with us this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you join us, and we appreciate the work that you do helping to serve the business community and our community at large. So tonight we have with us Senator Jeff Bratz and State Representative Brad Barrett. Give us a wave. I'm not sure exactly where you are. There they are. Commissioner Marianne Butters. Sheriff Randy Rudder is with us this evening. Mayor Dave Snow. Along with Mayor Dave, we have several city, town, and county council members with us, and we appreciate all that you do and would like you to stand as well. I believe we have Chief Jerry Purcell in the house. Thank you all for what you do. Now I'd like to recognize a group that's very special to me. They are a group of 29 individuals that really are the support that our staff needs in order to move forward and have strong strategic direction and also be our advocates in the community, and that is our board of directors. Yes, you heard me right. We have 29 board members on our board, which is very large, but trust me, they are all outstanding individuals, and many of them greeted you this evening, but I wanted them to stand so that you could say thank you to those that are representing you. The Chamber is extremely proud of the work that happens in the business community with internships, and we like to demonstrate that ourselves, and so we almost always have an intern in our office. And so this year, in the past, I guess, 18 months now, if we look back, we have had 3 interns. We had Coral Gregory, Cliff Hazelbaker, and Erica Barker all interning with us. And we're just so thankful for their work and their partnership. Now I would like you to meet, for those of you that have not had a chance to meet them, our staff. Our staff does an incredible job every single day, and we all have people in our lives and in our offices, in our manufacturers, wherever, that we know we can count on, and I am so fortunate to have 3 of those people working beside me every single day, and half of another one, and you'll get that in a second. Roxy Deer. Roxy is our Director of Membership and Education. In a year of a pandemic, you would think, wonder how the Chamber's membership is doing. I am proud to tell you that our membership is strong and going. This week alone, we had 5 new members join us. Again, that is because of the great work that our organization as a whole does, but Roxy has put a lot of work into that, and I'm so thankful for that. Thank you, Roxy. As Paul mentioned earlier, we had 2 individuals join our team in this past year. Lynette Davis, who is our Director of Events and really the mastermind behind what you see tonight. I wasn't quite sure we would find someone creative and yet very detail-oriented to fill that role, but trust me, Lynette is that person. And then Daniel Arthur. Daniel is a recent IU East grad himself. Yes, let's celebrate that. We love the fact that we have graduates, whether it's high school or college, choosing to work here and stay here in our community, and we're so thankful that Daniel is one of those individuals. He does all of our communications and the emails that you get regularly. I'm sure you have seen his name. Now you get to see his face. And Amy Waltz is the accountant that the Chamber is so fortunate to share with Wayne County Foundation. That's why I said half, but really, she puts her whole heart into everything that she does for us, and we thank you. Thank you, Amy. We have about 150 volunteers that help us pull off the work that we do throughout the year. And we always get that question, man, you only have 4 people. How do you do it all? Well, it's the 150 people that are behind us and in front of us and beside us. And so I wanted to recognize the chairs of each of our 6 committees tonight. The Awards, Celebrations, and Events Committee is chaired by Anna Lohmiller of Epic Insurance Midwest. Anna, where are you? There she is. Our Buy Local Committee is chaired by Amy Dillon of Brewer Broadcasting. Amy? The Business and Education Committee is chaired by Lisa Dollar with Primex Plastics. She wasn't able to be with us tonight, but you all will give her our thanks. And the Hype Wayne County Committee, our young professionals, is co-chaired by Mark Broker of Reed Health and our own Roxy Deer. Mark? And our Issues and Advocacy Committee is chaired by Jeff Carter of Bethany Theological Seminary. finally, our Member Outreach Committee. We have Kathy Gerton and Lee Elzemeyer. Kathy is with us tonight. Lee is at the State Fair with many of our friends. While we're on the State Fair subject, I just have to congratulate Richmond, Centerville, and Northeastern for all making it into the finals with marching band competition tonight. They are representing us well. In the famous story we all know, there is a tin man in search of a heart. Tonight we have placed on your tables a map of Wayne County provided by the Economic Development Corporation's Home in Wayne campaign. Take time while you're waiting on your meal to place the heart over the city or town that has your heart and post a picture of it on Facebook or Instagram, telling us why that place is important to you. Then, the EDC will be drawing one name for a special prize. Be sure to use the hashtag #HomeInWayne. As you may know, I am a Wayne County native, but like many others, I've ventured out of state for a while, and I've now been back home for 15 years. Wayne County has my heart. It is truly an honor to work here at the place I love with so many people that I love. Thank you for what you do to make this an amazing community. Thank you for joining us tonight. There is no place like home.
Please welcome to the stage the pastor of Gateway Church, Chris Monahan, to lead us in an invocation.
Let's take a moment and pray together as we pray over our evening and over our businesses. Father God, we come in the name of Jesus tonight and we ask your blessing upon our meal, upon our time of celebration. We thank you for Wayne County. We thank you for its businesses and we thank you for its future. I ask tonight, God, that you would give each of our businessmen and our women in this room the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Samson, the preparedness of Noah, the endurance of Job, the creativity of Bezalel, the determination of Nehemiah, the loyalty of Ruth, and the courage of Joshua. And especially, Lord, our businesses, let them be as attractive as Esther. Father, I thank you for this culture of hope that is being created here in our county. And tonight, Lord, we bless these events, we bless our meal, and we bless our city, Lord, this rich mound. May it be prosperous and a high place in our region. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, everybody.
Enjoy tonight's dinner, prepared by Chef Gallo and served by the Old Richmond Inn staff. How about a big thank you to Chef Gallo and his team? While your servers begin, please turn your attention to the screens for a brief message from a couple of our Diamond sponsors.
When Three Rivers asked our community what matters most to them, we knew there'd be a variety of answers. Everyone's unique in their own way. And while what matters most to us and to our friends, families, and neighbors may differ, what's clear is this: we're all dreaming big, working hard for those we love, and hopeful for the future. At Three Rivers, what matters to you matters to us, and we're here to support whatever that may be.
Please welcome to the stage, Evan Struck.
Stop seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me.
Stars fading, but I linger on, dear.
Oh, how you linger on.
Still craving your kiss.
How you crave my kiss.
Now I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this.
Give me a little kiss, sweet dreams, till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. Put in your dreams whatever they be. Dream a little dream of me.
Buzz, 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 buzz.
am honoring very popular figures here in Indiana, and I'm so glad to share them all with you. Louis Armstrong, I believe, recorded a record here in Richmond. So happy to be able to honor local history tonight. We have 2 more paintings coming up, so stay tuned, everyone.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to It's my own design. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me to make the most of freedom and our pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to. Born in a small town, and I live in a small town. Every time small town, oh, small communities. All my friends are from small town. My parents live in the same small town. My job is a small town, but that's little opportunity. Educated in a small town, taught to fear Jesus in a small town. Used to daydream in that small town. Another boring romantic, that's me. But I've seen it all in a small town. Had myself a ball in a small town. Made an LA dollar right to this small town. That small town, just like me. Oh, I cannot forget from where it is that I come from. I cannot forget the people who love me. Yeah, I can be myself here in the small town. And people let me be just what I want to be.
Larry Bird, everyone. I have one more very special painting left in tonight's set. Just wanted to remind everyone that my paintings will be, I believe, on live auction tonight. So you will have the chance to possibly bid and take one of these home. Again, I have one more painting in my set. We'll do a quick break and we'll be right back.
touring it. You know that we've been going it. Since we hopped out that DeLorean. Yeah, we went on guard. Things are just things, they don't make you who you are. Can't pack up a U-Haul and take it with you when you're gone. We posted on the porch, my family's glasses to the stars. My grandma smiling down on me like, whoop, that boy got bars. Okay, yes I do. I said amen and hallelujah, let me testify to another morning. A morning, won't let self get in my way. I got my breath, I got my faith, and I remember why I came.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am, not through the again. I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious. I feel glorious, glorious.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy up. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, I'm my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back question. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Let's go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. The best. You can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself.
Standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. Cause you're born with the God's fame. And the world's gonna know your name. You'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Go the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Do it for your country, do it for your name. Cause there's gonna be a day when you're
standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. Cause you burn with the God's flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion. Be a champion. Be a champion.
creatures. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers, be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. Cause the man with the brightest flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the king, come hanging on your chest. You can be a girl, you can be the ball, you can be a jacket hanging on the wall. You can throw your hands up, you can be the clock, you can move a mountain, you can break rocks, you can be a jester, don't want the luck, then it be a jumping down like a fool standing in the Hall of
Peyton, Manning, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending tonight's event and watching me again. My name is Evan Struck. Make sure you bid on these paintings. I'm going to sign them afterwards. Thanks again, and have a great rest of your night, everyone.
He's not called America's Interactive Speed Painter for nothing. Now, you will have an opportunity to take one of these pieces home with you later tonight, so be thinking about which one you'd like. Let's give it up one more time for Evan Struck.
I mean, we couldn't do what we do without First Bank and how supportive they have been throughout the years.
I've had a very good experience working with First Bank. They have been there really with all kinds of different things that I do in my life.
We consider First Bank Richmond a good friend. They're there to help us sponsor our signature events. You always are out there to help each other out.
Besides the business part of it, we just get along really well. And it's beyond a working relationship.
2020 was a year of great promise and opportunities, a new decade and a new chance to make a difference in our community. 2020 began like most years with our annual Chamber Dinner, a night full of celebration and community. Our theme was 2020, a perfect vision. More like, hindsight is 2020. We continued for the next couple months as usual, unaware of what the future would hold. We held ribbon-cutting ceremonies, welcoming new businesses into our community. We held our yearly anniversary celebration event, celebrating our chamber members who have met yearly milestones in their memberships. And we even pulled off our job fair for the local high school seniors on March 13th. Then, as we all know, everything changed. So, we did what we had to do. Quickly, the vision we discussed at our annual dinner changed, and we refocused to best serve our community. We launched a COVID-19 recovery task force and began providing content to our members with a series of think tanks with local and state elected officials and our state and U.S. chamber representatives. These virtual meetings allowed elected officials to connect with our area business leaders and owners to hear their concerns, provide updates on funding, and connect with our residents. Our business education luncheons became online webinars and discussed the topics at hand, such as the transition to working from home. Our Support Your Healthcare Workers initiative partnered with the community and our members to provide boxed meals from local restaurants that were delivered to healthcare providers around Wayne County. We also managed to pull off our School is Cool senior celebration event, celebrating seniors who have achieved perfect attendance for the school year. Even though the event was entirely virtual, we managed to celebrate 84 seniors and gave away prizes ranging from gift cards all the way up to our grand prize, a brand new car. As events around us continued to unfold and the conversation on race relations and police brutality came to a head, our Issues and Advocacy Committee began discussions in the community and piloted the launch of an implicit bias training program for employers in order to further the dialogue and narrow the divide. As the initial waves of the pandemic eased and restrictions began to slowly lift, we hosted a Tying Our Community Together event declaring that Wayne County was open for business. In July, we were able to hold our annual golf classic and bring folks together while maintaining proper COVID guidelines and procedures. While this didn't look like our typical golf outing, it was a welcome relief to see people again, even if we had to keep our distance. We also managed to pull off another fan favorite event, the farm tour. We hosted this event at the Barn at Helm, a local flower farm and dedicated member of our chamber. Julie and Tim Frame showed nearly 100 guests around their home farm while teaching everyone about their planting process, their homemade greenhouse, and how they have turned their passion into a thriving business. When the Taste of Wayne County event was not an option, Restaurant Week was born. It included special deals, giveaways, and a marketing boost for our chamber member restaurants. In fact, this event was so beneficial that we're adding it to our yearly lineup. We wrapped up the year with another new event, couch shopping. This was a fun and new way to help our retail business members reach a wider audience during a busy shopping season. Over 2 separate nights, we brought in 12 retailers and over 300 shoppers on Facebook Live to provide a safe, socially distant holiday shopping experience. Like Restaurant Week, our members and the community found so much value in this event that it will be a recurring event every holiday season. While this year may have been a difficult one, we managed to reach our community in ways we have never done before. For example, we managed to sell over $36,000 worth of our chamber gift certificates, which are redeemable at select chamber businesses who have retained our Buy Local certification. And, even in the chaos of the year, we managed to bring in 30 new members, a 6% total increase in membership from previous years.
The chamber is the central nervous system of the business community. It represents people from government, banking, education, manufacturing, tourism. So you get a wide range of ideas and issues facing the community. So the chamber means to us building a stronger community.
2020 may have been a year none of us could have ever planned. But as a chamber, we refocused in order to provide information, security, and benefits to our members and to our community. With a new team and a new vision, the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce will continue fostering a community rich in enterprise and growing in population and prosperity.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage your 2021 Chamber Board Chair, Katie Alia from Three Rivers Federal Credit Union.
Good evening, everyone. I am so pleased to be able to be standing up here tonight, thanking you all for joining us as we celebrate the extraordinary people and businesses of Wayne County. I'm Katie Alia, 2021 Board Chair, and as you've just seen from the video, we have an awesome Chamber of Commerce. From our members to our board and our staff, not only do we recognize the great work happening here in Wayne County, but I am so proud to say that recently, so did the Indiana Association of Chamber Executives. Out of 154 chambers in the state of Indiana, ours made it into the top 10. And not just that, but our chamber president and CEO, Melissa Vance, was named a top 4 finalist for Chamber Executive of the Year. We know these things don't happen without a strong business community, as well as excellent partnerships with other organizations and government leaders. Thank you all for helping make Wayne County shine. Before I go any further, I want to extend a big thank you to Paul Whitty, our past board chair, for his steady leadership and guidance through what can only be described as a crazy 2020. Paul, thank you for your dedication, for your steady leadership as you steered the chamber through those challenging 12 months, and on top of all of that, bringing us out of 2020 stronger than ever. And last but certainly not least, I would like to thank my employer, Three Rivers, for encouraging and supporting community involvement of its employees. So this year's obviously a little different. We normally have this dinner in January, and I'd be talking about the upcoming year, our goals and vision for the next 12 months, etc. But here we are in August, and I get to share some of the really fantastic things that have already been accomplished. And I'll get to those things, but before I do, I want to touch on the importance and significance of our theme tonight. There's no place like home and what that means to me. Wayne County has always been my home. I was born and raised here, went through Centerville schools, and had the absolute best childhood. As a teenager and even to my college years, hail Purdue, but even into my college years, I always thought and pictured myself moving away from Wayne County and living in a city. It didn't matter what city, I just wanted it to be out of Wayne County. Well, my husband and I were engaged right before I graduated college, and he farms here, and that's when it hit me that I'd be living in Wayne County for the rest of my life. You can't exactly pick up a farm and move it, so. And at first, I'll admit, my 21-year-old self was not excited at the thought of living here, but pretty soon I realized I would never want to be anywhere else. I started getting involved in the community, and wow, were my eyes open to the wonderful people, amazing organizations, great opportunities, and beautiful places of Wayne County. Sure, our community has its challenges, what one doesn't. As a young professional though, it's here that I've been supported, it's here that I've been encouraged, and it's here that I am so happy to be raising our family because to me there is truly no place like home.
Yes, I got you.
Now to get back to what I mentioned earlier, we're here in August and we have accomplished a lot this year already. In February, we kicked off a new quarterly series called State of, with there being a State of the Chamber, which took place in February, a State of the Workforce, which took place in April, State of the Community taking place on the 27th of this month, and State of Growth taking place on December 3rd. This series brings in dynamic speakers who discuss topics relevant to our community and businesses. The series also addresses the desire our chamber members had to have more intimate conversations regarding matters that are important to them. In May, our amazing Hype group, which stands for Helping Young Professionals Engage, hosted an outstanding and successful event on the top of the downtown parking garage. Attendees were able to sample food from a number of local restaurants, had live music from the Richmond Symphony Orchestra and the Sean Land Band to listen to, were able to get their picture taken with a beautiful floral setup by Julie Frame with the Barnett Helm. All in all, it was a unique and fun evening. Also in May, we held our 12th annual senior celebration event, which celebrated our Wayne County High School seniors with excellent attendance for the 2020-2021 school year. We were excited to give away over $500,000 in prizes and scholarships to 223 seniors. May was a busy month for us. May was a busy month for us as we also had our senior hiring fair for our high school seniors. Students from 6 schools in Wayne County got the chance to meet with area employers, learn about their business, and had interviews on the spot. This event is particularly important as we are always looking for ways to keep local talent here, whether that's getting students connected to the local workforce upon graduation or getting them enrolled in one of our local colleges and universities. We want our students to know about the great opportunities right here in Wayne County. There were many more fantastic events our chamber hosted and will host, too many to mention in this speech, but one of the things I am so proud of is how each and every event our chamber hosts brings value to our membership. And the work that goes into making sure that happens brings up another point I want to touch on, and that is courage. I could use a lot of words to describe our chamber. Innovative, hardworking, relentless, but courage would be at the top of my list. Thinking outside of the box, coming up with new and creative ideas and implementing those ideas takes courage. Why? Because new is risky, new is unknown, New is outside of our comfort zone, and operating outside of our comfort zone without a doubt takes courage. But it's outside of our comfort zone where the magic happens, where growth happens. That's one of the many things I admire about our chamber, that we have the courage to try new things, take calculated risks, shake things up in order to stay relevant. To quote Winston Churchill, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And with that, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your commitment to Wayne County.
Thank you, Katie. Now we move on to the highlight of tonight's program, our featured award winners. It is First Bank Richmond's pleasure to sponsor tonight's awards. This is an important night to recognize and be appreciative of what the Chamber and its members have accomplished during the past year. Due to these award winners, other great individuals, businesses, and service organizations, Wayne County continues to be a great place to live, work, and go to school. I would like to extend a special thanks to Gary Saunders for his longtime support by donating the Education Awards in memory of his wife, Charlotte Huffines Saunders. Congratulations in advance to all of our award winners.
Presenting the awards will be Katie Alia, Melissa Vance, and First Bank Richmond's Don Benzinger. We will begin with the Chamber Awards program by recognizing the outstanding Chamber Committee members from each of the Chamber's active working committees. Agribusiness Committee, Jackie Webb. Retired, Reed Health. Jackie joined this committee and right away showed up and was greatly instrumental in the success of the farm tour. Awards, celebrations, and events, otherwise known as the ACES Committee, Tracy Robinson. Better Homes and Gardens, First Realty Group. Tracy is a longtime member of this group, but consistently goes above and beyond with each event, ribbon cutting, groundbreaking, and more. Business and Education Committee, Kara Billou, IU East. Kara has demonstrated her commitment to education by providing expertise and leadership, particularly with the high school hiring fair. Buy Local Committee, Amy Dillon, Brewer Broadcasting. Amy stepped in as chair of this committee when her love for small business shines as she leads this group with new zeal. Hike Committee, Mark Broker, Reed Health. Mark co-chairs the newest Chamber Committee and also serves as the Hike appointee to the Chamber Board of Directors. Issues and Advocacy Committee, Jeff Carter, Bethany Theological Seminary. The chair of this important committee, Jeff led the COVID-19 task force to some epic wins as they navigated the challenging landscape of 2020. Member Outreach Committee, Jane Barker, Epic Insurance Midwest. Jane is a longtime member of this committee. She was instrumental in the addition of the Chamber Health Insurance Plan. Our main awards of the evening will fall into three different categories: Service Awards, Corporate Awards, and Individual Awards. And now, let us recognize those outstanding service award winners. Volunteer of the Year Award, Paul Moore, Apex Ag Solutions. We begin with our Volunteer of the Year, Paul Moore from Apex Ag Solutions. Paul serves in sales and marketing for Apex Ag Solutions based in Winchester, but serving the region, including Wayne County. Serving for nearly 3 years, Paul has brought exceptional energy to the Agribusiness Committee, Business and Education Committee, and the Member Outreach Committee. He was instrumental in the success of the most recent Chamber Farm Tours held at Doherty Orchards and the Barn at Helm. His ideas have helped to craft effective senior job fairs. He works well with those young, old, and everything in between, especially when he shows up unexpectedly with bagels. When there is a need, he is the first to volunteer his time and talent for the task. Paul Moore is truly a Chamber champion and well-deserving of the 2020 Volunteer of the Year Award. The Bob Rosa Buy Local Award, Amanda Marquis. award is named after Bob Rosa, former owner of Rosa's Office Supply, now Office 360. Bob knew the value of supporting the local economy by buying local as much as possible. Supporting fellow business owners is exactly what this year's winner does. From advocating for small businesses, purchasing local personally, and contracting with local service providers professionally, she truly talks the talk and walks the walk. Over the past 5 years, Amanda Marquis has led $3 million in improvements to the Leland legacy, all using local vendors. 90% of the operating vendors she uses at the Leland are from Wayne County. She says, when you take care of local businesses, they will take care of you. Amanda also owns a local gym, the Corner Cafe. This restaurant has brought joy to residents of the Leland legacy, but also to downtown Richmond. She supports schools, youth teams, nonprofits, animal rescues, the Meltdown Festival, senior games, and Special Olympics. Lastly, she lifts the spirits of the community by having uplifting messages on banners, as well as participating in the Happy Hearts campaign and putting candles in the windows of the Leland. Let's hear it for the 2020 Bob Rosa Buy Local Award winner, the Leland Legacy's Amanda Marquis. The Emergency Professional of the Year Award, Dr. Thomas Huth and Dr. David Jetmore. The year 2020 brought numerous challenges centering around the nation's health crisis. Locally, we had 2 physicians helping Wayne County residents, officials, and businesses navigate this brutal pandemic. These physicians have long careers caring for their patients and leading others, but this year was exceptional. When it came to the COVID-19 outbreak, Dr. Tom Huth of Reed Health and Dr. David Jetmore of the Wayne County Health Department were at the forefront of every turn. They were the voice of reason when there seemed to be no reason. They spoke truth even when it was the hard truth. They helped provide data that would influence decisions made weekly by our county commissioners and city and town officials. And they hosted a weekly call-in question and answer show on Whitewater Community Television, Ask the Doctors. Their voices did not just reiterate what we were hearing from state and national level. They let us know how our local community was being affected, whether through small and large businesses, healthcare, education, or social services. They took things a step further when they ensured information and outreach was being done to get the message, the prevention, and the cure to all residents, eliminating potential barriers of socioeconomic, proximity, or race. Wayne County would not have fared nearly as well as we did without strong leaders in the medical field willing to step out to be the conduit of healing for our community. Join us in congratulating Dr. Thomas Huth and Dr. David Jetmore, 2020 Emergency Professionals of the Year. Please direct your attention to the screens as we hear about our next award recipient.
We started this mission about 15 years ago because we saw the need in our community. And when we first started, we served maybe 40 families a week. And now, today, we've served over 6,000 families in 1 month, especially during the times of the COVID crisis that our community has been facing.
What I loved about the community was during this COVID time, we would have people coming in and saying, I can take like 30 boxes and I can take it into my neighborhood and I can do this with that. And they would come faithfully every week. They would burn their gas, spend their time. And she says, well, I know someone that could use a box. And we were able to feed over 5,000 families for like 9 months.
Gateway Hunger Relief Center serves obviously a very critical need in our community, and certainly helps to make the most vulnerable populations healthier and stronger. Linda also does a beautiful job, and Gateway does a beautiful job of treating people with dignity and respect. If they're in a different part of their lives that they've never been in before, they're in new situations because of somebody lost a job or what have you. She knows how to make sure that they feel loved and comforted and that they are going to help them get through it. She's just really good at that, and their whole team is really good at that, and it's always really impressed me. I've never had to go to bed hungry, but I've seen a lot of people that needed food. And to be able to give them hope and support people, it's a really good feeling. It's fun. It's a joy to serve our community. It's a joy to be a part of something that gives people hope.
It's not a handout, it's a hand up. It's been my passion since I started, and it's just grown.
Part of the mission of the Hunger Relief Center is to dispel shame in our community, where people feel worthless or feel bad about their need. We provide community, friendship, and life, and that's what's more needed than anything else right now in our city, and that's why I'm so proud to be part of this amazing movement called the Gateway Hunger Relief Center.
Gateway definitely deserves this recognition this year, especially this year. This past 18 months, I guess, they have come into their own and really addressed a very changing, ever-changing need. And I think is wonderful to award somebody for the fact that also they're always ready to learn more. They know that they don't know everything and they want to learn more. And I think that's a really, really important piece in the survival of nonprofits, is knowing that there's always more to learn and there's always ways to get better. And they did a beautiful job of that this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in recognizing our winner for Achievement and Excellence for a nonprofit, Gateway Hunger Relief Center. This award is accepted by Executive Director Linda White and Pastor Chris Monahan. Congratulations to all the Outstanding Service Award winners. Our second category tonight recognizes outstanding corporations for their accomplishments. Partner in Education Award, Sugar Creek. This year's Partnership in Education Award goes to a business that continually assesses how to best serve their customers, employees, and community. When Sugar Creek Packing Company began hearing about the lack of quality childcare options in the Western Wayne area, they began exploring ways they could fill the gap. They chose to replicate a model that was successful in another state. Though the process was long, Rod Holbrook and his team ultimately partnered with Western Wayne Schools and the YMCA. This was the perfect collaboration. Now located in Western Wayne Elementary School, the beautifully remodeled space serves families by providing discounted, high-quality childcare. Their efforts to make this happen allow parents to work knowing their children are in good hands. Now, children are going to seamlessly move into kindergarten, ready to learn. We know the availability of childcare makes Wayne County appealing to our future employers and our future workforce, making it a place they choose to call home. The Partner in Education Award to Sugar Creek. Outstanding Service to Agriculture Award, the Barn at Helm. The Barn at Helm is located in Williamsburg and boasts a breathtaking 125 acres. The beautiful flower farm is owned and operated by Tim and Julie Frame. They grow over 80 varieties of flowers from March through November and specialize in agritourism, hosting you-pick events with entertainment, local food, and lots of special photos. They teach flower workshops where attendees get to create and leave with their own arrangement or holiday centerpiece. The Barn at Helm was also the host of the Chamber's 2020 Farm Tour. With careful consideration to each detail, around 100 guests were able to meander through the fields, barns, and greenhouse for a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to be a local flower farmer. This was accomplished in a safe way and for many was the first gathering attended after the mandatory shutdown. Finally, Tim and Julie not only care about running a successful business, but they care about people. An excellent example of this, the many flower arrangements that were delivered to nurses during the exhausting months they experienced last year. They danced to raise money for charity and Birth to Five's Dancing with the Stars. Those who know them can attest to their genuine love for the residents of Wayne County and beyond. Congratulations to this year's winner, the Outstanding Service to Agriculture, the Barn at Helm. Achievement of Excellence, Small Business, Smiley's Pub. Terry and Kathy Hillard, owner of Smiley's Pub, exemplified a high level of creativity and grit to maintain and grow their business through the pandemic. When businesses shut down, restaurants were forced to close their dining rooms, but Smiley's made a quick move to acquire personal protective equipment for their staff and supplies needed to offer carry-out service. Serving on the Wayne County COVID-19 Task Force representing small businesses, the Hillards brought the need to light for those businesses, especially restaurants, needed to survive. When their input and that of others, County launched a PPE distribution mechanism, partnering with Office 360 to get necessary supplies in the hands of businesses quickly. Smiley's also participated in the Support Your Healthcare Workers initiative, launched by the Chamber in the spring of 2020, supplying meals for medical professionals and first responders who are working tirelessly to care for the community. Lastly, Kathy Hillard is a connector. She embodies the Chamber's mission of being a unifying link to the Wayne County community. She advocates for other businesses, and she cares for people. Let's hear it for our recipient of this year's Achievement of Excellence Small Business Award, Smiley's Pub. Achievement of Excellence, Large Business, Primex Plastics. Primex Plastics was one of the first local manufacturers to step up with a much-needed product during the pandemic. As the COVID outbreak began, Reed health officials realized quickly they did not have sufficient PPE to care for patients while keeping employees safe. In what they call their Apollo 13 moment, in just 2 days, the team at Primex developed and began to manufacture face shields. Partnering with other Richmond business owners, including A House Tool and Engineering and B&F Plastics, they not only met the need, but distributed their products to 450 health organizations in all 50 United States for a total of 3.4 million face shields produced. They continue to meet needs by supplying over 1,000 retailers and offices with protective dividers and 120 golf courses with dividers for their carts. Every single box shipped shouted, "There is no place like Primex's home," because they were all tagged with a We Are Richmond logo. Another significant Primex project was the winterization of the historic Star Jeanette facility, which became home to Richmond's Farmers Market. Because of their help, local farmers and artisans were able to connect with customers and residents in need, were able to double their SNAP benefits and food access. While people were laid off from the positions in many other companies, the swift move by Primex kept people working, from healthcare to manufacturing and entrepreneurs. For these reasons, our Achievement of Excellence, Large Business, goes to Primex Plastics. Please turn your attention back to the screens for our winner of the Corporation of the Year Award.
We are what we call a contract manufacturer. While we don't necessarily have any of our own products, we make products for other companies. They will contract with us to either design the product, or maybe they have their own design already and they'll bring that to us and ask us to build that for them. So we have a wide variety of products that we make for other customers. The idea of the rapid response bed came from a previous customer that we had looked at doing some projects for out of Milwaukee. They asked us if we would be interested in doing a rapid response bed due to the COVID-19 pandemic that we were in. A lot of different hospitals and a lot of different cities needed additional bed space because they were filled up. They had a general concept of what they wanted, and we told them, yes, we would like to get involved in this. We'd like to produce something for them. So we spent about 2 weeks designing and building prototypes, testing for them. We went through from scoop to nuts everything that they needed, and in 2 to 3 weeks we had our first beds produced.
I think all businesses have to adapt and have to change. I think that 2020 brought the need to adapt and change even more prevalent. And I think about CIT's ability to fabricate and to do different change for their customer base, but to change on a dime and really to solve a need for what society needed and what demand was pretty neat.
The folks here at CIT, our team and so forth, they just really wanted to jump in. When they found out what this was all about, they wanted to be involved. They put extra time in over the weekend, their own time, evenings, nights. I mean, they were on it to get this done, to be a part of the solution to this pandemic.
I think that a corporation deserving of the award has to be a company that is innovative, is forward-thinking, is also profit-minded as well as employee-focused. But ultimately, I think you have to be customer-focused. And sometimes you don't even know what that customer is. So during an innovative time, it's nice to see that you can react and provide a product or service that the customer needs that they may not even know they need, or that you may not even be in that market.
This isn't about any one person, any individual person, one of the owners. This is about the whole team here at CIT and what they've all gotten together and done over the last year through some really, really trying times. And we are so appreciative of this award.
I want to congratulate everybody at CIT, the management, employees. It's quite an award, and congratulations. Congratulations.
Of the Year, Contact Industrial Tooling, represented by Mike Owens and Greg Mounsey.
Ready?
Congratulations to all the outstanding corporations and their accomplishments in 2020. Our final awards will be given to outstanding individuals. Educator of the Year, Ray Wolpe, Richmond High School. Our next award recognizes an individual with an extraordinary list of accomplishments. She excelled as a teacher for 15 years, named the Richmond High School Outstanding Educator 4 times, and the 1996 Richmond Community Schools Teacher of the Year. She spent 7 years as the RHS Athletic Director, 5 years as Assistant Principal, and 11 years as Principal.
We love you, Ray!
Coaching girls and or boys swimming for 15 years, she was named North Central Coach of the Year 7 times, Sectional Coach of the Year 8 times, and District Coach of the Year 3 times. Although these are all reflective of her abilities, Ray Wolpe was chosen because of her character. The student nominating her said, "She utilizes compassion to leverage positive outcomes in nearly all situations. She cares deeply for her students, and this is evident in her ability to remember the name and character of nearly every student she's overseen. And if she doesn't know your name, she'll make a point to learn it. Richmond is a kinder, warmer, safer place, thanks to Ray Wolpe. And it's for that reason she is such a fitting nominee for this award." Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Wolpe. Excellence in Higher Education, Dr. Jerry Wild, IU East. Dr. Jerry Wild serves as Dean of IU East Student of Education, as well as Professor of Educational Psychology. He's received awards such as the Chancellor's Faculty Award and the Excellence in Research Award. He's also an accomplished author of books such as Hot Stuff to Help Kids, a guide for angry, anxious, or stressed students. His expertise in this area led to his immediate outreach during the onset of the pandemic. When K-12 teachers transitioned to teaching online in the spring of 2020, the IU East team developed workshops for teachers and Q&A sessions for parents. These led to students getting the quality education they deserved while remaining in a safe environment. A $304,000 Governor's Emergency Education Relief Grant provided certification and training for virtual instruction to 62 teachers in 42 districts, positively impacting over 60,000 students. In addition, a 2020 report by the Indiana Department of Education found 100% of the IU East School of Education graduates from the past 3 years were considered effective or highly effective by their principals in the 2018-2019 school year. Please join us in congratulating our 2020 Excellence in Higher Education winner, Dr. Jerry Wild. Outstanding Young Professional of the Year Award, Sean Lamb, Kicks 96 and the Sean Lamb Janet Miller Band. The next award goes to our Outstanding Young Professional of the Year. He is described as a fixer. He sees a need and finds a solution. This characteristic quickly came to light in April of 2020. He wanted to do something to help others provide financial assistance and lift spirits. So our recipient did what he does best. He sang, holding an online COVID relief benefit concert that raised $11,200 for charities. He's also eager to lend a hand volunteering at the Leland Legacy with the Halloween event, serving more than 700 kids. He loves spending time with the Leland's residents and periodically performs there as well. Tonight, we celebrate Sean Lamb from Kix 96 and the Sean Lamb Janet Miller Band, our outstanding Young Professional of the Year. Turn your attention one more time to the screens for our final award recipient of the night.
Once upon a time, a young woman named Monica arrived in the land of Richmond. She was a happy and well-respected math teacher who was loved by all. Until one day, the RSO came to her with a mission of guiding their bold and vibrant orchestra. Having accepted the challenge, she put on her best polka and dots and got ready for the boogie woogie ball. She battled and fought and even had to shake, rattle, and roll, not to mention the twisting and shouting. She was always fearless and a champion of all, and she wasn't even deterred by the night fever going around. By the end, she won the hearts of all, even the ones still back in the 80s and 90s. She has a powerful and mighty wand, which she uses only for good, helping the funders and nonprofits come together for the betterment of our magical kingdom called community. But this really is no fairy tale. This is Monica. She is a philanthropist. She is an executive director of the Richmond Symphony Orchestra. She is a mentor, establishing the Sip and Chat and the nonprofit book club. She's a community leader. She's a volunteer. She's an arts advocate. And she's a funder. She's the president of the Stam Coastline Foundation. But most of all, she's my friend. Congratulations, Monica.
Monica has a lot of gifts and talents. She sees the big picture, she's passionate, she has a great sense of humor, she has perspective, and she works very hard. And she has a can-do attitude. If someone brings an idea, she thinks, how can we make this work?
Monica works really hard to make sure that nonprofits have what they need to succeed. She's worked really hard leading the way for several years with City Arts, and also worked really hard raising hundreds of dollars for us to be able to have the Meltdown Festival. She's worked tirelessly on making sure our symphony is top-notch here in this community. And without these efforts, the arts would not be what they are today.
A colleague on the RSO board has described Monica as an exemplar in nonprofit leadership, and I couldn't agree more. Both of her roles as executive director of the Richmond Symphony Orchestra and as president of the Stam Coachline Family Foundation illustrate her dedication to making Richmond and Wayne County a better place. She is passionate about youth, which is a focus for both organizations.
This is why this Art Vivian Award is so special and so reflective of Monica, because she would not boast or tell you things that she does within this community, because she just does them because she truly loves this community and she loves where she resides. And I think that that is wonderful that she continues to find ways to help others, and why she's so deserving of this award.
You know, one of my colleagues has described Monica as a treasure, and I couldn't say it any better myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage the 2020 Art Vivian Distinguished Community Leader, Monica Coastline.
Well, I am truly honored and even a little bit tickled to be presented with the Art Vivian Community Leader Award. When I look at the list of past recipients, I see so many of my personal idols and mentors that have served to shape Wayne County in meaningful and impactful ways. And to be counted among them is truly humbling. I want to acknowledge and congratulate, but mostly affirm the work of my fellow honorees this evening. How different our community would be if each of you did not lean in and willingly serve this past year, so thank you. I have just a few minutes, and I do promise that the symphony will not have to play to get me off the stage. I want to start tonight by thanking my family that have shaped and molded me through the years. You give me the strength to soar and the grace and the space to fall. Those that join me tonight and those that join me in spirit. My husband, John, my daughter, Kaylee, my two crazy sisters, companions on travels, Holly and Leslie, but really, most importantly, my mom and my dad. They taught us daily by their actions that it's not really a right or a privilege to give. It's our responsibility to serve those that we can with the talents and the treasures that we are given. I want to thank my Richmond family and friends who joined me this evening. You selflessly pour into me, giving strength and a wellspring to pour into others. I want to acknowledge my colleagues in the nonprofit community, my Richmond Symphony family, the STAM family, and all of you gathered here tonight. You have entrusted me with opportunities to lead, and I have worked hard to capitalize on those opportunities and make you proud. So thank you so much. I think we can all agree it's been a year. I don't think it needs an adjective. We've all journeyed and navigated the last 17 months, sometimes with grace and sometimes rather ungracefully. But there is no doubt that we will forever be shaped, individually and collectively, by that journey. We pass through the time with new terms like elbow bump, flatten the curve, and herd immunity. We recall overused phrases such as unprecedented and uncertain times, the new normal, and my favorite that I'm not really ready to give up, pivot. We're all laughing because we all overuse them. But let's also reflect on the empathy and compassion that we showed for each other. And let's celebrate the way that our community did truly pivot. Our businesses, our government, and the social sector, sometimes to respond directly to COVID threats, and other times to take care of those most vulnerable. Let's also celebrate the commitment of our healthcare providers and the sacrifices that were made to protect our community and our neighbors. And above all, let's celebrate the resilience of the human heart and of Wayne County. I'll finish with a quote from Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress. And working together is success. Let us continue to lean in and build the home that we want to live in. Wayne County will grow stronger as each resident owns a piece of its story. I thank you for this honor, but more importantly, I thank you for accepting this farm girl into the Wayne County fold.
Nominations will open October 1st for the 2021 Chamber Awards to be presented at our next Chamber Annual Dinner. Save the date, January 21st, 2022. Over the years, we've had numerous well-deserving award winners. If you are a previous award winner, will you please stand? Go ahead, stand up.
Of time already. Yeah. Do not arouse the wrath of the great and powerful Oz. I said come back tomorrow.
If you are really great and powerful, you'll keep your promises.
Do you presume to criticize the great Oz? You ungrateful creatures think yourselves lucky that I'm giving you audience tomorrow instead of 20 years from now. Oh. The great Oz has spoken. Oh. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The great Oz has spoken.
Who are you?
Oh, I am the great and powerful Wizard of Oz.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage our very own Wizard of Wayne.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be in front of people for a change. And I would also like to thank the committee for giving me a child-size hat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and burn that. So, we've got beautiful paintings, of course, by Evan Struck. Another round of applause for Evan Struck. That's amazing. I couldn't have painted those in 3 days, let alone in just the time it took him. So, we're going to auction those off. And the good news is the money that we raise by auctioning these off goes to the 4 main streets in Wayne County: Cambridge City, Centerville, Hagerstown, and Richmond. And, yes, Meadow Block, there you go. And we also need to give a shameless plug for Cambridge City. They're up for the Indiana Preserving Main Street Pilot Program, which could net them $2 million in Cambridge City. Yes, that's awesome. So, the folks from the Wayne County Chamber are gonna help. Okay, hold on a second. The dress and the shoes. Nope. And and Daniel's got. All right. Okay. So everyone got the memo. That's good. Okay. Here we go. We're going to auction these off, and feel free to shout it out again. The number that you feel best solidifies what you're going to be. If it's higher than what I've got, go ahead. That's fine too. So let's start with the gazebo and the rose garden. Let's got that one. So we're going to start off. Let's start with $250. Who's got $250? Where are we at? $250. There's one. There's $250 back there. There's $300. $300, we have $350. $300, we need $350. There's $350. $350, we have $400. Don't expect Roger Richard, by the way. I'm not an auctioneer. So, $350, we need $400. $350. $350. Once. $400. There we go. There's $400. $400, we need $450. $450, there we go. Never discount eye contact. $450. $450, we need $500. $500, all right, $550. $500, we need $550. $550, there you go. $550, we need $600. $600. $650. Don't quit now. $650. There we go. $700. Or go 1,000 if you want. I'm not going to pressure you, but you can do whatever you want. $700? $700. All right. $750. $750. $800. He's still going. I mean, I'm saying 1,000 could do it, but it's not. It's up to you. Okay. We're at $750. We need $800. $750. $800. $750 once. $900. That's what I'm talking about. He's trying to scare you off, man. Don't let him. Don't let him scare you off. $950. $950. $925. No. So $900. $900 once. $900 twice. That's how you do it. $900 right there. All right, next up, the hick from French Lick, Larry Bird, with his New Jersey housewife mustache. Okay, let's start. You know it's true. You know it's true. Come on. He got his hair cut with a bowl. He put a bowl on his head. That's how they do it in Southern Indiana. Okay. Let's start with, you start 250 again? 250? Let's start with 300. 300. Who's got 300 for Larry Bird? 300, there you go. Paul's got 300 for Larry Bird. 350. 300, 350, 350 over there. 350, 400. 400, 450. 450. 500, 500. 750. See, this is easy. I like that. 750. I got 750 over here. 752 is not a legitimate bid. I was just going to throw it down right now. Do we have $700.38? No. 750. Do we have 800?
He said 800.
850. 850. 900. He's trying to scare you off. Don't let him scare you. Paul Whitty is right here. He's not that scary. 950. 950. $1,000 for Larry Bird. No, he's okay. Now you scared him. Okay, there's $1,000. $1,000 going once. $1,000 going twice. Anyone in the back? Now's your chance. Sold to $1,000. Mr. Paul Whitty, thank you so much. Next up, he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend. He's Peyton Manning. Let's start Peyton Manning at $500. $500 for Peyton Manning. There you go. There's $500 for Peyton Manning. 500, we need 550 or a much higher number. It's up to you. 500. 700. See, that was easy. 700. Who wants to go a higher number than that? 700. 700. 800. 900. All right, $900. We got 900. This would look good in one of your houses. It really would. You flip this house and put that on the wall. Who's not going to want to buy that? $1,000. Peyton Manning, $1,000. $1,000. You shaking it off? Are you a catcher? What are you doing? You're like, Okay, $1,000 going once. $1,000 going twice. Anybody else? Gone, $1,000. And last, but certainly not least, Satchmo himself, Louis Armstrong. Which, that was, at first, I'll admit, at first I thought it was Sammy Terry. Right at first, when he was just doing this, the face, I was trying to guess it. I'm terrible at guessing things. Okay, so, Louis Armstrong, he recorded here in Richmond, the birthplace of recorded jazz. We're gonna start Louis Armstrong at $500. 500. There's 500 right there. 600 over there. 700. 900. What? Who said that? $1,000 back here. What? 1,500. Where? What? $2,000 in the corner. 2,200. 2,200 up here. 2,500 or 1,000. Which one was that? 2,500. Oh, 100. Okay, 100. Everyone pointed at him. No, it's not me. That's not me. That's him. 2,500 is where we're at. 2,500. 2,600. Okay. 2,600. 2,700. Yeah, Doug. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. You do what you want, man. Besides, you're on the other side of the room. She can't get over there that fast. What? 2,800. 2,800. 2,850. What? Dude. I had your back there for a while, too. I had your back, and you're 2,850. What? $3,000. $3,000. Are you checking? We take credit. $3,000. Did that change anyone's mind? We take credit. We do it. Do you have your car keys? We'll take your car keys. That's fine. People need cars. $3,000. $3,000 one time. 3,100 in the back. Snatched from the jaws of defeat. 3,100. 30. No, you're giving up. Come on, dude. You've been in all of these, and you've got Show the perseverance that Wayne County is and go 32. No, 31, that's where we're at. 31, going once. 32. 32. There you go. 32. She just couldn't resist. Like, I want to so bad. I want to. 32. That's awesome. Thank you. You're making this worthwhile. 32. We have 33? 33. You won't give up, and that's awesome. 33. We need 34. 34. There we go. 35,000. 35. So, what was that? Did you hear that? 35. We got 3,400. 35 going once. 35 going twice. 35. I just said 35. 36. Okay, thank you. 36 now. Okay, 36. We need 37. It's $100. I'm like, come on, really? It's not that big a deal. You got that in your couch. Come on. So we're at 36. 3,700. 37. I need 38. Or 4. I mean, whatever you want to do, really. 3,700. We need 3,800. 3,700 going once. 3,700 going twice. Last chance. I'm looking at you. Sold. 3,700. There we go. All of this money raised will go to the main streets of Cambridge City, Centerville, Hagerstown, and Richmond. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the Chamber Dinner for tonight. Melissa Vance, Roxy Deere, Lynette Davis, and Daniel all did such a great job. Another round of applause for them. Thank you so much for being here. And as the night wears on, as you're leaving, if you feel more comfortable, some of the side doors will be open as well, so you can make your way to a side door if you prefer not to funnel out the front. It's entirely up to you. But thank you so much for being here and being a part of this and raising a lot of money for Main Streets in Wayne County. Thank you very much and good night.